For nearly 2 years, Lithuanians and their Baltic neighbors in Estonia and Latvia have been demanding independence from Moscow. Free countries briefly between World Wars I and II, the three Baltic states were annexed by the Soviet Union in 1939 by a secret Hitler-Stalin treaty. Despite 50 years of control by Moscow, the Baltic states maintain separate non-Russian identities. Early in 1988, Mikhail Gorbachev's glasnost reforms sparked public debate within the Soviet bloc and calls for independence in the Baltic states. Opposition surfaced with public rallies with a display of previously banned national flags. And then in November 1988, with parliamentary action. Lithuania's local legislature met and took its first tentative steps towards autonomy. A human chain stretched across three Baltic states last August was a clear message to Moscow that the drive for independence had become a popular mass movement. That protest and another marking the 50th anniversary of the Hitler-Stalin Treaty provoked the Kremlin. The Communist Party's Central Committee in Moscow issued an angry statement. Things have gone too far. The fate of the Baltic peoples is in serious danger. People should know into what abyss they are being pushed by nationalist leaders. In Lithuania, the Communist Party leaders increasingly joined the drive for nationalism. Communist leaders facing local elections early next year work to create a new identity for their party.
The old-style Communist Party, dependent on Moscow, is finished. Definitely a thing of the past. At the moment, the nationalists are stronger in Lithuania, and the party's weak. But maybe the party will save itself with a new program and independence from Moscow.
Last week, the party voted to break away from the control of the Central Committee in Moscow. The Lithuanian communists said their goal was to create an independent, democratic Lithuanian state. The move set off an angry and anxious debate in Moscow and the decision to send Mikhail Gorbachev in the next few days to Lithuania to try to defuse the crisis, a crisis he said could rip the Soviet Union apart. The confrontation between Lithuania and the Kremlin hardened even today. Officials in Lithuania formally registered a new pro-independence party, and an estimated 50,000 people rallied in support of the Lithuanian Communist Party that broke ranks with Moscow. We get some perspective on this crisis now from Peter Reddaway. He's a professor of international relations at George Washington University in Washington, and he's written extensively on Soviet political affairs. Gorbachev said precisely, and let me quote, "To exercise," this is yesterday, "to exercise self-determination through secession is to blow apart the Union, to pit people against one another, and to sow discord, bloodshed, and death." Those are very strong words. Is it just rhetoric, or is it something to be reckoned with?
Well, to judge by Gorbachev's record up to now, it is only rhetoric because he's had a succession of strong statements, each stronger than the one before, and we've now got to this point, but he's never actually done anything about it. There was the strong statement in August, which you quoted in the previous film, but in the wake of that, the Lithuanian parliament proceeded to do what Gorbachev had said was absolutely forbidden, and I think the conservative forces within the Soviet elite, which are very strong and have got stronger in recent months and are constantly trying to increase the pressure on Gorbachev, they clearly would have liked for the last year or so some sort of crackdown on, not only on Lithuania, on many other parts of the country which show similar trends, although not quite as extreme as in Lithuania. They would like, you know, arrest of a few hundred nationalist leaders, suppression of demonstrations, suppression of independent political parties. And Gorbachev has been holding out against that because he's afraid that if he went down that path, first of all, who knows whether you could actually bring it off.